So let us this program initiate and give the very much attention to implement the community-based program also, because we have started the anemia, that bye anemia program at the Hyderabad Padicon, and our president mentioned that it is very well recognized in the Maharashtra. All the districts and the branches are celebrating that our program and creating the awareness. So, in conclusion, I say adolescent nutrition is a very critical aspect of the health that requires our immediate attention and action. So, adolescent chapter is doing excellent work to creating the awareness about this when prioritizing the nutritional needs of our adolescent. So, please invest in the health, for productivity and well-being of our future generation. And by that, we can lead the country as our president's message to serve the country, colleagues, and the children all together at all 3C. So let us join together, adolescent, with the IAP, and make sure that as a team we can work together to get the more and more in the action. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yogesh Bhai, seeking
Thank you.
support from Central IP. Thank you. Now, I think Atanu Bhadra sir is here.
No, he's in the flight. I think he's landing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we move on to the Vice Presidents, Dr. Preeti Galgali, Madam, and Dr. Harish Pemde sir. Few words of blessings from both of you, our past chairpersons of AHA. Dr. Preeti.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hima Bindu Singh, for inviting me. It is a pleasure to be here amongst my teachers, Dr. M.K.C. Nair sir, Dr. Pukhraj Bafna sir, and also Dr. Srinivasan. And again, a great pleasure to be amongst the OB and the team EB of 2025. And all AHA members who are doing such wonderful work. I wish all the everybody a great 2025, and Dr. Hima Bindu Singh has a sparkling, I would say, action plan, and it is lighting up the whole of AHA in the Golden Jubilee year, and we hope that we are all able to achieve it. I can also see that Bansal sir is here too, so it's a really a wonderful platform where all the stalwarts have got together to wish the very best for AHA in the Golden Jubilee year. And as far as nutrition goes, I would say there is something latest coming up. When we give about any advice regarding nutrition, I think we need to know about the food security, which is so very important. So a screening tool for all adolescents for knowing the food security situation before even giving advice regarding nutrition is essential. We all know the importance of nutrition when we give advice for polycystic ovarian syndrome, and also the phenomena of disordered eating is coming up more than the eating disorder. So there are some new things coming up in adolescent nutrition as well, apart from the triple burden of malnutrition, which we are also familiar with. So thank you very much once again, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Preeti ji. Quickly, Dr. Harish Pemde sir.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Hima Bindi, for inviting me. And respected Dr. Nair, Dr. Bansal, Dr. Parekh, and many other people who are former chairpersons of AHA. And some future also chairpersons are also here, I believe. So this is a very good program which you have started, and my best wishes for the programs which will be there throughout the year. And all the doyens of the subject are on board today. And I believe that in the next programs also, many important people and experts will be there to discuss on various subjects of adolescent health. And along with this aware generation programs amongst pediatricians, IP members, and community, I understand that we also need to work for having more and more NMC approved courses or courses from IAP, Indian College of Pediatrics, so that we can give some authority and some recognition to people who are practicing adolescent health and who will practice adolescent health, those who are planning. So my best wishes for all the programs. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Pemde. Quickly, I think we should go, because we have a lot of seniors there, Pukhraj Bafna sir, Dr. Bansal sir, sir, few words from Chawla sir, all past chairpersons. Maybe it's the first webinar, so we would like to take little 2-3 minutes more before we start. Just new thing what we just want to tell is we are engaging youth in all our webinars, and from the very first webinar we have the youth voice. So one youth will be speaking in all our webinars so that we involve them and engage and work along with them. Sir, Dr. Guru Prasad sir is here, or Dr. Prashant, other vice presidents. Guru Prasad sir, Dr. C.P. Bansal sir, Bansal sir.
Very good evening, Dr. Hima, and my respectful regards to respected and rather Charan Sparsh to respected MKC Nair sir and Dr. Pukhraj Wafna sir, and sincere regards to Honorary Secretary General Dr. Yogesh Parekh, Vice President Dr. Preeti Galagali and Dr. Harish Pemde, and all the office bearers of Adolescent Health Academy, present, past and future presidents, and doyens of adolescent care here. In fact, it's a great opportunity that we are all assembled to encourage the current Golden Jubilee President of AHA, Dr. Hima Bindu, and I am sure that जब शुरुआत ही जबरदस्त है तो आगाज कैसा होगा. I will like to take this opportunity to remind dear Dr. Yogesh Parekh sir that the guidelines which were translated in Hindi should be put on on the website, because in that also there is a guideline about food, and that paper which was published in Adolescent Health, this Indian Pediatrics, and then the guidelines were issued. They are also there, and they are probably the most versatile document which is very, very important for parents, in which not only for adolescent but for early 0 to 8 years also guidelines about food preferences are there, as well as for adolescent also. My best wishes to each one of you, and today's speaker Dr. Kotwal sir, and who is the next other speaker?
We have a talk, one panel discussion, and youth voice, sir.
Oh, great. This is fantastic. Involvement of youth is certainly...
Yes, sir. One student is there on today for 20 minutes.
That's the most nice thing which you are doing, and I can see that Dr. What is your name, beta? Koda.
Srujana.
Srujana.
Srujana, she is the youth, sir. Dr. Srujana, please put your video on, Srujana. Yeah. She is going to speak.
So nice. Welcome you to...
Good evening, sir.
Thank
all
you.
Our stalwarts here.
Thank you so much. I'll not take time between this interesting webinar and you. And good wishes to all the office bearers of AHA. Dr. PV is here. Dr. Geeta Patil ma'am, I can see, and all the stalwarts. Oh, Praji bhi hain. Ajit Chawla sir. Sir Charan Sparsh.
Thank you, sir.
Shamik.
Yes, sir. Thank
RN
you, sir.
sir. Oh, Shalini madam. Nice.
Sir. Thank you, sir, for your presence. I request Dr. Chawla sir to say a few words, then Dr. Pukhraj Bafna sir, then we'll go start this session. Geeta Patil madam and Sushma ji.
Dr. Emma, 1 second. In regards to Dr. C.P. Bansal, sir, with your blessings and support, already I instructed office on that day only. But we need to create that links, because that 110 guidelines are there, because we have to put all the guidelines. So just after that, because one book we have just sent on the website. So we are seeking what is that load on the website, and today also we have a website committee meeting, so we will get it, sir.
So can we talk later, sir, please? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Chawla, sir. Sir, one few words from you, sir, quickly. Unmute कीजिए, sir. Sir, unmute नहीं हो रहे हैं.
अब हो गया.
Yes, yes.
I am personally thankful to Dr. Hima Bindu and team for inviting me for this auspicious occasion. I wish you all best of luck. This is a good start. I congratulate to all.
Thank you, sir, with all your blessings. Thank you. Dr. Pukhraj Bafna, sir.
Namaskar. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
जितनी विभूतियां यहाँ बैठी हैं एडोलेसेंट हेल्थ की, उन सबको मेरा नमस्कार. और नाम के लिए हिमा बिंदु जरूर है, उसने गागर में सागर भर रखा है. तो बहुत बहुत बधाइयाँ, बहुत शुभकामनाएं, और इट्स ए गुड बिगिनिंग. लगे रहो, जगे रहो. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for all your blessings. Sir, Dr. Srinivasan, sir, one line before we go to our, because so many stalwarts have come, really, want of time, but still.
You're all doing excellent work, and I've been watching for
Thank
so
you,
many
sir.
years. And of course, I want to know full force. You must go to schools
Yes, sir.
and
We
impress
promise
upon
to do
teachers,
that.
and this thing that is very important, because then
We
only we
promise,
can
sir.
make changes.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes.
wish all of you go this thing,
Sir.
take it to this thing, and textbooks also, it should be incorporated.
Yes,
The
sir. Thank you.
hygiene, and I hope you will do it. I'm sure there are so many stalwarts who will help in making these things happen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. MKC Nair, sir, will be chairing our session. But Dr. Geeta, before, as a past president, some few words from you.
Just one sentence, because I know that all participants
Yes, are waiting.
are waiting, and I think we should not hold on them
Yes,
for a very
yes.
long time.
Yes.
Pranam to Dr. MKC sir and Pukhraj Bapna sir, Bansal sir, Chawla sir for giving the blessing for this. And I'm very proud moment that there are stalwarts from Adolescent Health Academy, and this program is very well thought and very properly planned program. Wish you all the best, Dr. Himabindu madam. We are all with you, and these are the type of the webinars we need to do, because we know that adolescent is a critical period where the requirement of nutrition increases, and it is little different dynamics are there. And these dynamics we have to explain through this webinar, and involving adolescent is definitely very important for that. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity. All the best.
Thank you, Geeta ji. Thank you. Dr. Sushma ji, our chairperson-elect.
Very good evening. Respected Dr. M.K.C. Nair sir, humble pranam to him. Dr. Pukhraj Bafna sir, sincerest regards. And Chawla sir and all the seniors, dear Dr. Hima Bindu ji, and our family, AHA family. I'm really thrilled to see the Silver Jubilee year beginning with a bang, when we see that our Indian adolescents face a double burden of malnutrition with a significant prevalence of both undernutrition alongside overnutrition, and with a vulnerable adolescent age naturally inclined to the junks, and there is a disorder eating coming up. This can be the best topic to start the Silver Jubilee year webinars. I congratulate Dr. Hima Bindu madam, and I sincerely appreciate the initiative for involving the youth in every webinar. My sincerest best wishes to you, Dr. Hima Bindu ji.
Thank you. We are all team 2025. Looking forward for support from all of you. Thank you. And now over to Dr. Shamik. I think we should invite our chairperson, Dr. MKC Nair, while we invite all the participants to this webinar. This is Silver Jubilee year of IAP-AHA, and we want to do adolescent super specialty webinars every month involving youth also, and one panel discussion where our young pediatric IHNs will be involved in the panel discussion also. So that is a promise from our side, from the team 2025 EB and OB. Over to Shamik to please invite Dr. MKC Nair.
A very good evening to the entire AHA family. I'm not taking individual names of all the legends and seniors who have joined us today. Professor MKC Nair, we would not have been able to start anything or do anything in the last 25 years without your blessings, because you had shown us the path. Currently, he is a professor emeritus in developmental, behavioral, and adolescent pediatrics. Good evening, sir, and we welcome you to chair today's session, the first session of the Silver Jubilee year of the Adolescent Health Academy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So before the first session start, I'll just make a very brief comment for 3 minutes. Number one, I must congratulate the IAP president and AHA president and all the stalwarts for having started this program. Then vast changes has happened. No other specialty has so much of changes that has happened like in nutrition. For the good, sometimes for the bad. I must say sometimes for the bad, because you keep changing recommendation. That is the one thing bad. But what is pediatricians have taken to very much interest in nutrition. That's a very positive thing. And what is most important is the adolescent PCOS has become a huge community problem. So it's very important that we start talking about it. So many policy changes have come from JNCK. Junk food, it has become junk food. Now we have worked on ORS, we have worked on breastfeeding, we have worked on child, adolescent, infant nutrition, so many things. And now the focus also has come on adolescent nutrition, micronutrient deficiencies, as well as iron, particularly iron deficiency. So many policy changes have come from fat. Our focus has now sharpened to carbohydrate. More carbohydrate is more dangerous than fat. That concept have come. Reduce the salt and then reduce your BP. Things have come up. So what most important, I think we should focus this year is the nutrition of the pre-pubertal girls. Because we know that low birth weight is the biggest problem of the country and one of the most important factor for low birth weight. In fact, attributable risk of 26 to 27%. That means if we can reduce the height of the mother, not reduce, keep the height of the mother, that can be done only in the pre-pubertal stage. In the adolescent nutrition, they will only become more fat. But pre-pubertal growth spurt, we should be using. In fact, this I had proposed 10 years ago to Government of India. Somehow it didn't come through. But I think we may start pushing it again. There's so many new ideas that is going to come up in the talk. So we invite, sir, please invite the first
Dr. Nishikant.
Yeah.
Sir, please introduce Dr. Shamik, Dr. Nishikant Kotwal. We invite sir to give an overview of adolescent nutrition. Dr. Shamik?
So, is Dr. Sudhir Mishra around? Has he joined?
Sir, you can do only 1 or 2 lines. There is no need for...
No. Is Dr. Sudhir Mishra there?
Good evening, everyone.
Sir,
Good
it would be
evening,
very
our
kind of
chairperson,
you
Dr.
if you can kindly introduce Dr. Nishikant Kotwal.
Dr.
Thank you,
Sudhir
sir.
Mishra, sir, is our scientific chairperson and EB of Central AHA. Sir, good evening, sir, please.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening to our chairperson, Dr. Nair, and all other legends and future legends. Dr. Nishikant Kotwal actually needs no introduction, especially in the AHA field. He has been a adolescent pediatrician and a founder member of the adolescent cell, then adolescent chapter. And he is from Nagpur, practicing in Nagpur, doing the clinical as well as the community work. So I invite Dr. Nishikant Kotwal to deliver his talk.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Dr. Arya, can you share?
So we have a talk and then a panel discussion. Kindly stay on. I request all the participants. Dr. Manmeet will be having a discussion with 3 younger pediatricians, and a youth also will be talking at the end with Dr. Vidhu Ashok. Kindly stay on. Over to you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. See, thank you, CP sir, Preeti, Dr. Pemde, Dr. Bafna sir, Dr. Ajit Singh, for being here in the audience. Thank you, Hima Bindu madam, for choosing me as the opening batsman. But I being an opening batsman, there are great pacers who are sitting in the audience. And that is, one is MKC Nair, Dr. Elizabeth and Dr. Geeta. To talk in front of them about nutrition is something which is like talking some first standard thing in front of graduates. Anyway, I have been given this topic. Next slide, please. I have been given this topic of overview of
So please unmute yourself, Dr. Kotwal. Unmute yourself, yes.
seed to talk in front of pacers like MKC Nair, Dr. Elizabeth, Dr. Geeta, who have contributed to a chapter in on nutrition in a textbook, is something which is very difficult. And I will request Dr. MKC Nair that he can scold me in private rather than in on this platform. So the topic is overview of adolescent nutrition and why it is important. I have divided into two parts. The introduction is in two parts. Adolescent nutrition in India, the challenges and the opportunities for everybody, whether pediatricians, whether social workers, whether government, and fueling the future of India's youth. Why did this word fuel was used? Is fuel for fast moving car is always more than a slow moving car. So there are physical, mental, social, cognitive growth. We always think about only physical growth and the energy requirement for physical growth, but that is not true. Next slide, please. So why it is important? Because as everybody has said, it's a critical period of growth and development, rapid physical growth, rapid growth of reproductive and immune systems. This is where more calories are required. And formation, and apart from these, that is calories and nutrition, formation of healthy habits and behaviors impact on the future health and well-being of the child. So let us go to just know what are the dietary requirements which are there. So fueling the growth and development, the energy requirement would go to from 2200 to 3300 kilocalories per day for boys, and for girls it will be from 2060 to 2500. What is more important is protein, which is 1.2 to 1.2 grams per kg per body weight, and iron 16 to 26 milligram a day. For a girl, it is 22 to 32 milligram. Then there is a requirement for calcium and iron. I would come down to why they are important, why they are, that is in the later period. In India, we always see a very mixed picture. 1 out of 5 adolescents, I think it is more again now, they are underweight. And 1 in 10 adolescents in India are obese or overweight. And this also statistics have changed in the recent published book. So it is more than 1 in 10. Iron deficiency anemia, as Dr. Vasant Khalatkar has already said, that in their recent survey, it was more than 50%, but the statistics is normally 30 to 40% in adolescents. Vitamin D deficiency is another commonest deficiency which is there. Now, other people are going to talk in their panel discussions about other things. I will stay away from the discussion which would be happening there. So challenges in adolescent nutrition in India are, there is a barriers to healthy eating. There is still limited access to nutritious food for adolescents in India. Adolescents need to eat at least 3, 4, 5 times a day, but that much food is not available in the family. High cost of healthy food options. The market foods which are available, which are fortified or they are good, but they are not affordable. These low socioeconomic people can't reach them. Lack of nutrition knowledge and awareness. People eat, but they don't know what to eat. People have no idea that proteins are very important and carbohydrates are to be reduced in their diet. People don't know that the salt consumption has to reduce, and that is for your future. People do not know that iron is essential. People do not know zinc is essential. People do not know that even iodine is essential. Cultural and social factors which are influencing food choices. When you go from south to the north or the west to east, we have all cultural differences, and nobody is really bothering about which is the best thing. Limited availability of adolescent-friendly health services. Dr. M.K.C. Nair, I would definitely like to point out here that whatever you were trying to do for last so many years, but still adolescent-friendly health services are even not available in medical colleges all over India. And that is where we are all thinking about adolescent and adolescent psychology and depression and everything. But there are other services which are required for the adolescents. And these are the services which can definitely be given in adolescent-friendly centers. Opportunities for improvement are many. First thing, empowering the adolescent for healthy choices. So how do we do it? School-based nutrition education programs, community-based education nutrition interventions, social media campaigns promoting healthy eatings. They are usually sponsored by all nutrition food product sellers. So these media campaigns should be proper and not for sellers, involving parents and caregivers in nutrition education and increasing access to, again, adolescent-friendly health services. How do we do it? How do we do it? I think unless and until we have an inclusive policy in nutrition, we are not able to achieve, we will not achieve anything. In my opinion, my concepts are, why don't we have a community kitchen? Why don't we have a school kitchen to promote healthy and tasty food? Why don't these adolescents prepare food for whole school? Why don't we in community have a competition of preparing food and not for the catering schools or anything, but for the community? I think we should do it. So, in conclusion, investing in adolescent nutrition for healthy future, call of action will be let us work together, right? But I would like to have another thing because I have few minutes here. I will be pointing out these are the macronutrients, that is carbohydrate, proteins, and fats. They are important for physical activity, but the proteins are important for muscle and brain cells, and the fats are important for all energy and brain functions, other things. The iron, we always think it is only the hemoglobin, and we try concentrating on that, but it can lead to cognitive function defects also, and having less concentration, headaches, and less marks in the school. Calcium, as you know, it is very essential in adolescent because whatever calcium is deposited, that would prevent future few bone deformities after 40 years or 50 years of age. Vitamin D, we are always thinking about bone health, but think about immunological and cognitive values of vitamin D. Micronutrients, we all talk about omega-3, but recently I read about omega-6 also. I think we should concentrate on that, but it's a very costly affair for the nutrition program to include omega-3, omega-6. B complex vitamins are very, very easy, but still they are not eaten in a proper concentration. We were always talking about zinc. Zinc is very important for immunity and for development. So there are many things which I would like to talk, but because of short of time, I don't know whether I should talk about these or not. But I would only point out three things. For bone growth, calcium, vitamin D, and other nutrient support is very essential, including phosphorus. For muscle growth, you need protein, carbohydrate, and healthy fats to support the muscle development. And for brain development, you need omega-3 fatty acids, iron, B vitamins for brain growth. So the dietary recommendations could be: eat a balanced diet, include a variety of whole foods such as fruits, vegetables, grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water throughout the year. That is where people, I think, I would like to point out why people drink less water is they don't want to go to the restroom or a washroom, because in most of these schools they are dirty. Limit processed or sugary food. Avoid and limit foods of high or added sugar, salt, and healthy. Consider supplementations. I would add only now 3 things or 2 things, I would say. Have you heard about sports drinks and energy drinks and lot of advertisements which you see on the television? The energy drinks which are available, they give you quick energy, but they have lot of caffeine and other things. They have lot of things which are carcinogenic also, and they should not be taken because they ultimately lead to cardiovascular problems and blood pressure. But the sports drinks are different because they are a balanced electrolyte sugar combination, just like our ORS, and they need to be given to all the sportsmen because every 1 hour they get some dehydration or the other. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you, sir. Shamik, thank you. I think we should invite Dr. Manmeet because we are a little delayed. Shamik?
Dr. Arya, can you stop sharing?
Yeah, and my PPT can be shared to everybody.
Yes, sir. You please put in the group, sir. We'll share it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's already there. We'll share, sir. Thank you, sir. That was very good overview. And now we'll go to the panel discussion. Dr. Manmeet to be introduced by Dr. Shamik.
Very, very good evening to Dr. Manmeet Sodhi. I think so. There's most of us know her by her very dynamic presence in the IAP activities. We were also very fortunate to be hosted by Dr. Manmeet Sodhi at the Adolescent in Amritsar. So she's been somebody who has been carrying out all adolescent activities with a lot of enthusiasm. And hence, we thought that she would be one of the best people to be moderating today's panel discussion. Welcome, Dr. Manmeet. Please start.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shamik. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Team AHA, because we are beginning this year with a talk on adolescent nutrition. I think this is a defining issue that should be handled with too much care actually. And we are blessed to have some great experts here. And on the panel discussion, which is about A to Z of adolescent nutrition, I have some amazing youthful panelists who would be going ahead with me on the panel. So I take this opportunity to introduce my panelist, Dr. Amol Pawar. He is EB member CIAP 2425, Joint National Convener of IAP Presidential Action Plan, and Secretary General Maha IAP. Welcome, Dr. Amol.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, we have Dr. Nandini. She is Fellowship in Pediatric Critical Care Medicine, Joint Zonal Coordinator for the IAP-ALS program. Very enthusiastic about the CPR workshops. I've seen her. She's the Joint National Coordinator for IPECC 2025 and EB member from West Bengal Academy of Pediatrics 2425. Welcome, Dr. Nandini.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Welcome. And next we have Dr. Sri Salem. and he is a very close friend and president of NNF Telangana. And what I would describe him is he's a full package about nutrition because he eats the best food and does the best exercises. So I think we are going to have a lot of interaction with him on the panel discussion. And welcome Dr. C. Salem to the panel discussion.
Namaste, namaste to all.
Next we have Dr. Namaste. Next we have Dr. Sairam. He is a scientist and head division of maternal and child health and nutrition with ICMR National Institute of Nutrition. Welcome Dr. Sairam to the panel discussion.
Thank you so much for this great opportunity.
So with all the panelists, I will just take you through a brief journey about adolescent nutrition. We understand that adolescence is a critical phase of growth and development, making nutrition so much crucial during this, this phase actually. So to set the stage going, I would be asking my panelists to discuss some important topics about adolescent nutrition, and let's find answer to common queries that we have. So my first question will be to Dr. Amol Pawar. What are the most common nutritional deficiencies you encounter in adolescence?
Okay.
Dr. Amol.
First of all, thank you, Dr. Hima Bindu ma'am and Central IAPA for coming out with this very important topic in the life of adolescent health. And this first question which you are asking, it's very common questions, and common question come across with all the pediatricians and adolescent care specialists. So common these nutritional deficiencies which we encounter are mostly, first is iron deficiency. So majority of the cases there is inadequate dietary intake on the part of adolescent, because of this less intake there are growth spurts in the life of adolescent, and so there is increased need of iron. So because of low intake, it may lead to iron deficiency, then vitamin D deficiency also. Because of urbanization, many of the adolescents, they are not exposed to sunlight, and because of this insufficient sunlight, there will be less production of vitamin D. Also, there will be decreased consumption of fortified foods, which affect the bone health. Calcium deficiency is one of the most common in adolescent, and because of poor diet and restrictive eating, it may lead to weakened bone development. And folate deficiencies, then vitamin B12 deficiencies, then iodine deficiency is also common, which may lead to goiter. Then vitamin B1 deficiency, which may lead to beriberi, and also vitamin B2 deficiencies, which may lead to anemia and arabellosis. So these are the most common nutritional deficiencies which are encountered in adolescents.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Amol. You have covered almost the common deficiencies that we see. You very rightly said that this is the period of growth spurt and the requirement for nutrition are increasing. And that is why there is a gap, and then we get these deficiencies in young adolescents. So my next question is to Dr. Sairam. Sir, from your research, what are the significant barriers that you see that adolescents actually face in accessing proper nutrition?
Yeah, thank you so much. As we are all aware, India is a country with very diverse population. So naturally, there are constraints related to, most importantly, economic constraints, because still a large number of people have to prioritize nutrition against various other priorities in life. So that too, this is an age group where the adolescent is still not clear what is the right choice of food. So they are under the influence of the peers, and there's a lot of marketing that of processed foods. So though we have National Food Security Act, which helps provide rations to all socioeconomic strata, especially those who are underserved, it still focuses on energy dense cereal-based supply of food rather than diverse something more of dietary diversity and nutrient dense foods. So apart from this, of course, because of the running nature of today's urban environments, there is a lot of time constraints. People pick up whatever is possible, whether it is a soft drink or a lunch pack. And these are the constraints which are mainly more focused in urban areas. Of course, even rural areas, it's picking up that fast foods indirectly become a constraint to picking up the proper growth in this age group. Thank you.
Dr.
Dr.
Saira, do you
Manmeet,
think? Yeah, ma'am.
we have Dr. Elizabeth Madam actually. She's also here with us. So she'll be
Yeah,
giving
ma'am.
her expert comments. If she's not able to talk, she may have some issue with the throat. So she may put in the chat box. So we acknowledge the presence of Elizabeth Madam, who's an expert in nutrition. Thank you, Madam, for joining us. And we look forward for your expert comments later. Thank you. Over to you, Manmeet.
Thank you so much. Dr. Sairam, I just wanted to know that how influential is the peer influence you see when they, choose what they are eating in the adolescent age group?
Yeah, that is the most difficult situation what we are facing even in our research. What we see is when we go for the schools and colleges, as Sir was telling previously, the energy drinks, for example, that's a typical example of how peer pressure starts developing, especially when they reach the high school and junior college level. And it's very common. I am sure all pediatricians must be seeing so many kids with the tachycardias and other presentations, not knowing the underlying cause. People even don't even tell they're consuming these high caffeinated drinks. So peer pressure is definitely a very important component. It's going to be a big challenge.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Sairam. And now over to Dr. Sri Selam. Dr. Sri Selam, you have a vast knowledge about the traditional food, actually, but we are just having a lot of transition to the modern food culture, which has a lot of fast food, processed food. So, is it contributing to the nutritional imbalances in adolescents? What's your take on this?
In today's world, knowingly or unknowingly, willing or unwillingly, media has intruded into the lives of us. It sits with us at the dining table, accompanies us to the bed, and even influences our emotions, choices, and relationship. So that's the harsh reality. Now, fast food and processed food have become a dominant part of adolescent diets. No, not only adolescent, I think even the adult diet also. While they offer convenience, we should not forget that they also causes lot of imbalances, and that really impacts health in a very long run. The fast food and processed snacks are often high in unhealthy fats, refined sugars, and loads of sodium. But what they lack is the essential nutrients like fiber, vitamins, and minerals. This leads to the hidden hunger, where calorie intake is sufficient, but nutritional needs of iron, calcium, and protein are unmet. So, this high consumption of sugary drinks, fries, burgers, packets, they all contribute to the excess weight gain. And we see that even the incidence of risks of type 2 diabetes. These processed food also contain artificial colors, additives, emulsifiers that offer great taste and preferences. So, in such a way that even the natural foods like vegetables, fruits, they seem less appealing and less tasty. So, these high sugars intake causes lots of spikes of dopamine levels, leading to cravings and overconsumption of junk food. Even the soft drinks, people have replaced the milk by soft drinks. So calcium metabolism is affected, and we see that lots of case of osteoporosis also. So, and in these high sugary drinks and processed food, they always cause mood swings, anxiety, and depression in adolescents. So, lack of these essential nutrients, even like omega-3s and vitamins, they affect our brain function, our concentration, and energy levels. So, this is the disaster. The fast food and processed food. Let us. It should be not be called as a modern food. It is more like a dreaded food. So modern food culture, though it prioritizes convenience over the health, but education and small changes in the lifestyle can give a lot of impact.
Wonderfully explained, Dr. Sriselam. We will continue with the whole discussion later in the slides. Dr. Nandini, a question for you. Do you think that the adolescent girls and boys have different nutritional needs? And do conditions like menstruation or any sports activity influence their requirements?
Yeah, the specific needs of these adolescents varies according to their activities, their make of the body, and also the menstrual period of the girls. And for the menstruating girls, as we know, they have higher iron requirements. And regarding the energy needs for the boys, they need more calories than the girls because of their higher muscle mass and because of their activity needs. Okay. So the girls need more iron to compensate for their monthly blood loss, and the boys need this for their muscle development and growth. Calcium and vitamin D is needed by both the genders for their bone health, but the girls are at higher risk of the deficiencies because of the increased future risk of osteoporosis. Now, regarding the protein needs, the boys are more involved in sports who require more protein for the muscle building, and the girls need more additional protein to support the energy during menstruation. So, it encompasses the overall difference in the needs. Now, the micronutrient requirements are more for both the adolescent girls and boys because it's a period of active growth and because of their greater energy expenditure. This is again seen more in boys than girls, but both need more electrolytes, zinc, and vitamin in their regular diet.
Thank you, Dr. Nandini. You covered almost everything. And now that we know that what are the needs of the adolescent and what are the deficiencies that can happen. So, Dr. Sairam, could you actually tell us about some specific nutritional interventions that can address anemia in adolescent girls? And more importantly,
Hello?
how to improve compliance with these?
Yeah, madam. It's definitely a very persistent problem. Anemia among adolescent girls in India. We still, for so many years, so many programs have been being conducted by governments. We have been doing some studies to improve the compliance of iron supplementation. As you are all aware, basically, irrespective of the socioeconomic status, anemia is very common all across the age groups among children. Most importantly, it's highest actually in children below 5 years, almost 67% as per NFHS 5 data. And next immediate is adolescent girls who have very high prevalence, nearly 60%, whereas boys it's only 30% for girls, as we all know, because of mainly one is growth spurt. Apart from that, the physiological needs as the girl enters the adolescent phase and menstrual loss. So definitely it's a challenging area because in spite of we have one of the best programs actually, Anemia Mukt Bharat, where government is trying to see that the iron, folic acid supplementation along with various other strategies, including deworming, including providing the iron fortified rice. So many methods are being tried. However, still there is a lot of struggle. So, what are the alternatives we are trying through our researches? Basically, yes, WIFS is one of the most important component. It is successful, but the problem is as with any other disease where you don't have any clinical presentation, definitely most non-communicable disease, for example, they don't have clinical presentation in the early stage, so compliance is very bad with medication. Very similarly with anemia, since there is no direct, I mean, the patient doesn't perceive any direct benefit, rather they even perceive the whatever negative symptoms like gastritis or whatever, they try to avoid it. So a few things what we are trying at NIN for some time is, one is we had a STAR trial. You can access this online. We have published some papers. Screen and treat approach, where we try to screen, and those with higher anemic levels, we are going to give much more attention, and behavioral change communication. Because what is found is, apart from just giving iron supplementation, vitamin C rich foods definitely help a lot. So if you can combine it with any form like other tomatoes or any other amla or any other forms, there is definitely a better absorption. But of course, we all, as you all know, the millets are another good source of both protein as well as iron. So they, apart from of course fiber. So these are some innovative solutions where what we are trying. So compliance, in spite of all best efforts, like even giving them videos, calendars, the danger to the as the girl enters later on the life cycle, once the girl enters the motherhood, what are the problems? In spite of all these awareness programs, still there is a lot of struggle, and it's definitely a huge challenge. However, compliance can be improved, as I mentioned. Like for example, in STAR trial, we have tried to give very user-friendly kind of iron folic acid supplementation. Similarly, as I told, if we can improve more foods related to millet-based foods, that's one way to improvise. Like you all know, for example, ragi and jowar, bajra, they're having good amounts of iron along with various other these things. So that's why Government of India last year we have celebrated Millet Year, and we are trying to encourage in these forms.
Thank you, Dr. Sairam. These are good interventions that can be, and the compliance can always be improved by, educating the whole family, not just the adolescent. That's very important. Dr. Sri Salam, a very relevant question for you. What about physical activity? Does it play a role in adolescent nutrition, and how can we encourage them to have a balance between diet and exercise?
Yeah, definitely. The physical activity has a very, very crucial role. The physical activity, and if you look at the nutrient absorption, every exercise, medium, moderate, or even intense, it improves the blood flow to the gut. So as a result of this increase in circulation, the digestive system, there is an improved absorption of the nutrients, there is an improvement in the breakdown. So it ensures that all the vitamins, minerals are very effectively absorbed, supporting the overall health. Now, even if you look at the gut microbe, the regular physical activities promotes very diverse and healthy gut microbiome. So better digestion, reduced bloating and inflammation, and improved vitamin synthesis, more B complex. The physical activity even has a role on the metabolism and on the hormone control. So if you look at the hunger hormones like ghrelin, which is a hormone that during moderate to high intensity exercises, there is a level of ghrelin levels come down. So what happens? There is even if the leptin, if you look at the satiety hormone, that the sensitivity to leptin is also better in those who are doing physical activities. So definitely the satiety will be there, so less hunger. So I think crucial role of physical activity. And even if you look at the metabolism and expenditure of the energy, the BMR is increased in those with good physical activities, such strength exercises like endurance exercises. All this increases the BMR. So definitely what happens, the nutrients and the calories are used and they are less going for the deposition. And also if you look at the fat oxidation in those who do physical activity, there is an increase in insulin sensitivity, meaning that the cells absorb glucose more efficiently and prevent excess fat storage. So this physical activity definitely has a great role, and every adolescent should be counseled of doing physical activities. So eat a balanced diet, and physical activity will definitely help them to maintain their good health.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that's the magic mantra. Good diet and good physical activity makes the perfect balance for a good lifestyle. Dr. Nandini, can you address the dual burden of hidden hunger and now the rising trend of obesity in adolescents? Because I think when we are sitting in our office practices, we are seeing a good number of obese and overweight adolescents also now. So how do
Yeah.
you do this?
Yeah, we are commonly seeing these patients, but they are, as we say, the hidden hunger. They were unaware of the deficiency of the essential nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals. They are lacking those things because, as already discussed, they are picking up the junk food and they are avoiding, or again, there is the media is promoting this food so much, then they don't have any interest in taking the fruits and vegetables. We keep on saying take these things and all. So we can say that the nutrition education is needed for balanced diet for the adolescents as well as the parents, because these children, after we explain them or make them understand the need, they should be supported in the environment they study or they live about the things that should be available to them, and they should be promoted on the regular use of that. Not that they will listen to it and forget, and then again in the tiffin box in the school they will get a cupcake or a chocolate is being put into their bag, that they are not eating anything, so we are giving them this chips and chocolate and drinks. So that's what the parents are saying. So the availability is important, the awareness is important, and they should be also encouraged about the proportion size, because the parents are happy when the child's tummy is full, but they are unaware of the things that are provided to the children and the proportion that is needed, and also about the groups of nutrients, the food that is green leafy vegetables, the vitamin A rich ones, the dairy, the cereal, and the pulses. And if they take meat or fish, the proportion to be taken and the variety, I say that from the seven, four should be taken. And also the rainbow thing, the colorful things should be placed on the plate. So the adolescents, they understand these things, but that should be available to them at their home front. Okay. And also regarding the physical activities. So what I say that if 1 hour per day, 5 days a week, if not at least 30 minutes, and make them involved with some interesting tasks. Like they can go for some dance classes or karate, or a boy can go for a cricket coaching, or just go out to play, not sitting with the mobile. And what's happening? They are seeing those what I can say, the advertisement, these things, this junk food is so attractive, so colorful, and they think that the peer are taking these things, so why not we? So all these things to be promoted, they should be educated, and that should be available, and the parental involvement and the school involvement is needed to get rid of this.
Thank you, Manmeet. I just want to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Neelam Mohan, our president for the next year. Thank you, Dr. Neelam, for joining. If
I
you're
wanted to join much earlier. This subject is so close to my heart.
sorry. Yeah, we called you in the inaugural. No problem. You can please pass on your message.
Well, I think this is so close to my heart that today, fortunately, I was connected by Times of India that we're going to work a lot on the nutrition. So I guess I will share you people about the work that Indian Academy of Pediatrics and AHA is doing. Everything I'll try to acknowledge as much as I can, because I'm so impressed. The more I see you all, I get a very mixed feeling, because तुम लोग कभी आराम भी करते हो मुझे नहीं मालूम है. AHA chapter is so active that it becomes like a trademark for everybody to follow you all and say देखो वो लोग कितना कुछ कर रहे हैं.
Thank you so
So
much.
continue with your good work under the able leadership of not only Geeta, who did it in the past, and now Dr. Hima Bindu. Everybody knows about her addiction towards work and the incoming new people. So best wishes to all of you. And this program was very interesting. What I saw was the annual discussion, how the youngsters were being involved in this. So very interesting and very impressive. I must say kudos to the scientific team for planning out this. Thank you so much. And I'm
much,
listening. I'm listening.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
Dr.
Dr. Neelam, for gracing. Thank you.
Yeah,
Go on
thank
to
you to
Manmeet. Yeah. Manmeet, we are short
just
of
continue.
time, so
Yeah,
Manmeet
yeah,
is
yeah.
also
This is what
waiting.
I'll
Youth
request my
voice.
panelists to be a little quick with the answers, so that we are able to cover most of it. Dr. Amol, what do you
Yeah.
think? How can parents actually create a supportive environment for better nutrition for adolescents?
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Already it has been partially answered by Dr. Nandini, ma'am. So I will be very brief. So we should tell them to stock the healthy, nutrient-rich foods at home and limit the stocking of the processed foods. And we should encourage the family meals to build the healthy eating habits and also thereby bonding in between the family members. We should actually involve the adolescents in preparation of the meals and planning of the meals of the day. And we should educate them about the balanced diet and also the role of portion control in each meal to avoid the overeating or obesity. We should also promote the regular meal timings and also avoid the skipping of meals also. And we should support them in physical activity and also thereby positive approach to the body image. So we should encourage them about these good habits.
Yeah, it basically starts with the family. The family who eats healthy together will stay healthy together. That's the point. Wonderful. Dr. Sairam, what are the emerging trends in nutritional research about adolescents and how can they shape our future interventions?
Important question.
I'll just, because as you mentioned, the time is short, I'll quickly enlist what we are doing at NIN. Any further details I can definitely share through my email. Basically, most of our research at NIN is focusing on definitely the triple burden, micronutrient, overweight, obesity, and parallelly, we continue to struggle with stunting among even adolescents. So adolescents being a second opportunity for the Indian kids to come out of the so-called highest percent of stunting. So there's a lot of focus. We have something called Stunting Hub, where we try to identify what exactly is the cause for stunting that persists in India. We are giving some kind of egg interventions very early in the life, so that because protein is a very important component. Then biofortified and fortified millets. This is one other area. Fortified rice, which is already available in ration shops, how to increase its uptake. Then, of course, we have another most important research where we are trying to develop surveillance systems to pick up early risk factors of overweight and obesity. Apart from this, a large scale or a holistic approach of food systems. Why calorie dense foods are being grown as compared to need for nutrient dense foods, how to replace calorie dense foods with nutrient dense foods. These are the broad areas. Of course, sustainability and planet health also some are the areas where we are trying to look at. So any further details I will be sharing.
I would request Dr. Sairam to share in the chat box if there are any links that can be, further read for getting more information about the future interventions. It would be very helpful for everyone around here.
Definitely. I'll share the link of one of the very important books, which is published just recently, Dietary Guidelines for Indians 2024, that covers most of these topics.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've skipped one or two questions because I just wanted the most important one to come up. Dr. Sri Salem, social media. The boon or bane, I don't know what to talk about it, but how is it influencing our eating habits and food choices? And definitely it's a negative impact, I think, more than the positive one. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yes, you rightly said. I think there is more negative influences. Everybody wants to become, influencer. Everybody want to become a celebrity. So in the quest for becoming popular, they are posting videos of unscientific, irrelevant things on the Instagram, YouTube, and you see a pic of a tomato or a cucumber saying that if you eat this, you will die. This is toxic. This is poisonous. So there is a trend that you open up the videos and look for. So these influencers and celebrities, they often promote extreme diet trends. Like for example, detox teas, low carb diets, keto diet, fasting challenges, 1 meal a day. So like those, so many. So what happens? The teens will start feeling that they must restrict food to look a certain way. So even if you look at the filters, Photoshop, they don't know that it is being edited, the body images, and they start, what they do is they start enjoying and they want to make unnatural things. Actually, naturally, their body might be different. But by making these Photoshops and editing, they want to make natural body diversify in a different way. So I think that's a very bad one. If you look at the dietary trends, they lack any scientific backings. There are videos, what I ate today, there are so many videos on the Instagram and this thing. These are all unscientific. And even if you look at that, very unverified nutritional myths like carbs make you fat, avoid dairy. So all this will cause lots of food fear. So people will start looking food as a poison. A day might come that the people will start looking at food as a poison. So I think that's catastrophic. So even many social media platforms, all are sponsored content. They are all sponsored from the fast food brands. They are which develop increasing cravings for high sugary and high fat foods. Even there are viral videos, like for example, the Sapatu Raman. They're eating so much, tons and tons of some fish, chicken, eggs, some 100 eggs. So all these challenges will lead to obesity only. So I think these are all causing lots of stress eating, binge eating, or skipping meals due to their body dissatisfaction. So I think we should tell them that perfect exposure to fitness who are certified dietitians. So I think that's the message the adolescent people should know, that that can be the right way of choosing what is the verified channels, not from all the popular figures, celebrities who give their own ideas.
Yeah, wonderful. I think AHA and IAP both are working towards this and they are getting active on the social media to get the right information to the right people at the right time. Thank you so much.
So,
Dr.
apart from
Amol,
that, I think negative is there, but there are some positive ones also. Like there are, the grandma's kitchen, what our grandmas used to pay cook the vegetables. There are people who are doing cooking with naturally in the garden. As sir was saying about community kitchen, have a kitchen and cooking, with all the family get together, involving in the all these things. There is a positivity in that. As madam was talking about rainbow food. Suppose in our group we post about rainbow diet or something like that. Eat
Like
more.
what you are posting, no? Many times you post Rika Salam.
Yeah. So eat colors, what in nutrition, what we talk about. I think such things really help and taking them away from the processed food. But unfortunately, the malls all are dictating our lives. So that's the tragic one.
Dr. Manmeet.
I'll be just wrapping up with the last two questions, ma'am. Dr. Amol, this is a very important question because adolescents spend most of the time in school. So there's a lot of academic pressure. There are a lot of extracurricular activities. Do they actually define how they eat and their time for meals?
Yes. School schedules will often lead to skipped or delayed meals, and mostly breakfast it hampers. Then also short lunch breaks will also force students to eat quickly in a hurry, and also there will be inadequate intake. Then loads of extracurricular activities, they often overlap with the meal timing, and so irregular eating pattern will be there. And academic pressures, as everyone has witnessed, so it may lead to skipping of meals and because they have to complete the assignments and exams, all these things, and also limited time for meal preparation. It will also increase in reliance of the relying more on the processed foods or fast foods or snacks. Late night studies also they will they will encourage these adolescents to have unhealthy snacks habits, and also stress from academics. It will also reduces the appetite, in our exams also. During our exams, because of completing the studies, we often have skipped the meals, or there will be less of the intake, so loss of appetite will be there in these adolescents. And frequent after school activities, they will also lead to missed family meals, which is most important part of the family meal. So bonding and other things will be hampered because of this.
Wonderful, Dr. Amol.
Dr.
I'm very
Manmeet, we
thankful
need to wind up.
we are wrapping up, ma'am. Dr. Nandini, as we wrap up, I just want one piece of takeaway for all the audience, especially the doctors, how they can promote adolescent nutrition effectively. Keep it simple and short.
Number one, nutritional education on balanced diet. Promote micronutrient-rich food and fortified products. Implement school-based meal program. Limit ultra-processed and calorie-dense food. Encourage regular physical activity. Routine screening for hidden hunger and obesity. Address the emotional eating and stress. Family-based intervention for healthy eating. Regulate junk food and advertising. And policy-driven approaches like food labeling and the calorie, and they should be encouraged to read the label to understand and take those food. Thank you.
Wonderful. I'm thankful to all the panelists out here who have actually taken up this big topic, short and simple. And there are many takeaways because I think the family should sit together and eat, because very bad habits about junk foods and all that can be decreased once we are sitting together, and nutrition education becomes much more easier. I would request Dr. Hima Bindu ma'am to let Dr. Elizabeth ma'am
Yeah.
give us
Madam,
her words of wisdom, if it
yeah,
is possible for her to speak.
actually, can we have the youth, Madam Dr. Elizabeth ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, you are there. Thank you for joining, but in spite of your, you were not feeling well, but still you are joined. So would you like to give your comments now, madam, or after the youth speaks? One youth is.
Yeah, after that.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Now, thank you, Dr. Manmeet. That was a great panel discussion. It was really difficult to cover all aspects in just for 30, 40 minutes, but you have all done so well. Thank you. Now, Dr. Shamik,
Dr.
please
Himabindu
invite
madam,
Dr. Sharma ji.
just one single statement. Like, instead of demonizing the fast food, let us make it a goal that we should make nutritious eating easy, enjoyable, and sustainable. And simple formula, 80/20. Make 80% of your food nutritious, 20% indulgence. This
Thank
will be
you.
practically possible.
Thank you. Lot of tips. Thank you. Dr. Shamik, are you there? Please invite Dr. R.A.
Yes.
Sharma to chair this session. The
Thank
next
you,
youth
and-
voice, I think that's one of the most important session, and
Yeah.
now we are waiting for the youth voice.
So, my absolute privilege to welcome Dr. Arun Sharma. I think so everyone in the AHA family has appreciated his huge contribution to the working of our academy. He's a person who is very driven and who has the welfare of the AHA very close to his heart. So can I request Dr. Arun Sharma to please chair this very important section on the voice of the youth, and request after he finishes to request Dr. Vidhu Ashok to take it forward.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you, AHA, IAP, for giving me this opportunity. And I will not take much time. And I straightforward invite Dr. Vidhu Ashok, Secretary AHA Kerala 25-24, and his fellowship in pediatric and adolescent endocrinology diploma in asthma, allergy, and immunology, and many more papers and international and speaker in Pedicon sector. Yes, ma'am, please take over and let us know the youth voice, what they understand by the nutrition. Please, ma'am, carry on.
Thank you, sir. My special thanks to IAP and AHA family, central family, and especially Himabindu madam for giving the opportunity. So all of us now, we have been hearing about the webinar. So we know that adolescent is a nutritionally vulnerable phase also. So some kinds of eating habits, it can actually lead to, later in life, it can lead to obesity and many other problems. So we always have been discussing about the way we want it to be. And we know the way how it is going, and we are actually trying to change it. So this is actually a very innovative way where we can include the youth. So we know actually what is working and what they want. So for that, I would like to introduce our youth member. She's Kodavadikandi Sprujana. She's our youngest member. She's a second-year MBBS student at Sringaneri Institute of Medical Sciences. Srujana is our cute member. Is also, she practices Carnatic music and she plays flute. She has a lot of awards. She has won a lot of quiz competitions as well as poster competitions. And for her academic excellence, she has been awarded the ICRA Medico Award from the university exams. Now, Sprujana, for the time you have heard all the talks and you might now have got an idea of what we are going to speak about. So I just want to know, now you know what a nutrition, how it is to be, and what are the things we are expecting and what changes we want. So I just want to know, like in a day, like a 24-hour recall, in a daily routine, what food, like what kind of food is being eaten. Over to you, Sprujana.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the introduction. To start, I would like to thank the AHA and our Dr. Himabindu Singh, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity for being the youth voice. And it's an honor to be part of this webinar amongst all the dignitaries here. So thanks a lot, everyone. And coming to the dietary recall, I am a vegetarian, so I've taken one of my friend's help to calculate, and I've taken a, like a correlation between a vegetarian diet and a non-vegetarian diet. So coming to the vegetarian diet, it was a glass of milk in the morning. Then coming to the breakfast, it was masala dosa and chutney. And in between, like a lighter snack, there were I had a few pistachios and 2 walnuts. Then for lunch, I had a boiled egg with a bowl of rice and a bowl of veg curry, a bowl of curd. And then coming to the evening, of course, I took a glass of water with some chia seeds and a bowl of popcorn, which is served here in our hostel. And then coming to the dinner, a roti, again a bowl of rice, a bowl of potato curry, and again curd. So this is how my day was yesterday. This is what I had yesterday. And now coming to my friends, she had a non-vegetarian diet. It was like, to begin with, in the breakfast, she had her oatmeal with milk. Then, like a little munching after breakfast, she had her ice cream. And then a bowl of rice again in the lunch with a bowl of chicken curry and a bowl of curd. Coming to the dinner, she again, because there was a little party going on in the room, and then they placed an order for chicken biryani and some starters of chicken again. And of course, in the end, she had a protein bar, and that's how her meal was done.
Okay, so thank you for sharing. So now we have an idea of what actually the like they are having there. So
I hope it was
have actually
honest.
had a
It was
volume,
honest.
ma'am.
It was an
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, I didn't change anything. She had actually sent the same thing.
Yeah.
And we had calculated it is slightly, calories are slightly deficient, more of things are to be added. I think throughout the talk, and we'll have expert opinion of ma'am also. So then to the next thing, I'm just moving on. So as a young person, like Sprujana, what do you feel? What influences you people to have more of what we call the unhealthy diet or the junk food, the more processed food and things? What do you feel? Is it because you are staying in a residential place away from your home, so you feel the hostel food you are not able to the taste, or is it because of more of the peer pressure or something else? We would like to hear.
First and foremost, it's definitely the taste, ma'am. It's certainly a bigger part of why we're having or consuming the junk. And it's that sense of feel good thing. If we get that sense of satisfaction immediately after having that food. And it is also said that the fast foods are actually appealing and are convenient, especially in a busy schedule. So just like that, fast food are appealing to busy young people. It's like that. And then we sit among a group of friends where one of them randomly starts talking about the special or new kind of dish they've tried or the new restaurant they've been. And just like that, it spreads to all the friends there, and everybody has this cravings starting, and they tend to place an order like that. We tend to have or place an order or go to the canteen with the friends and have some junk food.
Okay.
So I think taste, affordability, and the convenience are what plays a major role in attracting us towards the junk.
Yeah, of course. And Swiggy and things are just a press away. All this because even the moment you want to say no, you're unable to do so, isn't it? And like we will be again talking about this, but now I just wanted to know, like, do you feel the social media, that is the food bloggers, you watch it on Insta and all this influences, is that also influencing you people are more? What do you feel?
Definitely, ma'am. Just like the panel discussion happened and all of the sirs were telling about this, that is so true. I can say it has a positive and negative impact, definitely, but then of course the negative influence is more. I can recall a lot of instances where I find people randomly scrolling through Insta and find some appetizing food, and just like that they get that irresistible urge to place an order for that again, or because of the food bloggers and all the influence, and again this eating challenges, just like sir mentioned already. So these are all actually influencing us to have them. And of course, we again end up eating the junk. And definitely positive impact, I could say it's that motivation we get looking at the people on Insta who are actually healthy and who are promoting the healthier lifestyles. I think this is looking on the positive front. There is a good influence too, but I think it's mostly the negative thing which we're being attracted to, I'm sure.
Okay. So like next thing, no, we would like to know, just like have you people had any formal education on nutrition when you were in your schools, all this before joining the medical school, I mean?
Yes, ma'am. Ever since our childhood, we've been taught about how a balanced diet looks like and what are the foods to be taken, like the micronutrients and the macronutrients, protein content, carbohydrates content, all the vitamins, minerals, and all. Definitely, we were taught since our childhood of how a balanced diet looks like or should be.
Okay. Like any talks at school for nutrition, especially anything you can remember, or your friends saying something around about that?
Ma'am, actually, I could recall a few events and programs in our schools way back where we used to have a few skits being performed, like expressing what are the adverse effects or negative impact of consuming a prolonged consumption of junk food and how to promote healthier lifestyles and all. So these were a few student activities, interactive sections like that. And of course, after coming to the med school, everybody is aware and they're all in with the doctors and all of them advise us to consume good food, healthy
Dr.
food.
Vidhu, are you asking her how to close the gap? What will make the youth, change or transform?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, the awareness, I just wanted to know how aware are they? If not, those are areas where we can work, make more awareness in them. Next, the questions are there, ma'am. Next, no, I would like to know, like the nighttime meals. I wanted to know the routine of the adolescents so that then we can understand what change and how we'll have to involve them. So the nighttime, late night eating and habits and things, how common it is among you people?
Ma'am, personally, I don't prefer that, but then I find friends around me doing that because I think it's due to the exams or the stress. Of course, the stress is another thing where because of that stress cortisol release, we find this eating as a coping mechanism to overcome the stress and all. And then because of the exams, people stay up late in the night, and just like that, I think the instant snack we prepare is Maggie, the 3 a.m. snack, very common to everybody, I'm sure, in all the hostels. So, of course, we all know it's unhealthy, but it's that little minute satisfaction or that situation which is actually making us go forward with it.
Okay. So before getting to the next one, like one thing, what is more important is like you should drink lots of water, and also the sleep is also very important. So ideally, 8 hours of sleep is at minimum 8 hours of sleep, but at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep is must. And usually, like this whole meal at night, late night meals are not much promoted because you actually feel discomfort after eating a means heavier meal at night. It can result in acid reflexes and an chronic, like you are continuing it for a long term, it can even lead to chronic diseases later on in life. And also this can insulin resistance and many things, high cholesterol and all these things it can lead to. So one thing what we want like to educate among you people is late night eating, it is better to avoid that, but it doesn't mean you should skip dinner. You should have your dinner, but a light dinner. And usually after dinner, maybe after 1 or 2 hours, like studying, you can go for your activities, you can always go for sleep. But it is not a good idea to just skip dinner like that. And early dinner is also good. A light early dinner is also good. But this kind of like you study for a long time and then you feel like eating in Swiggy, you order that for a long term, it won't be good. So that is one thing awareness we wanted to create in you people. And maybe if you want to snack something, we should think about a healthier version of snacking. So for ideally for the adolescent and all age groups, we say 3 main meals and healthier snacks in between. So what kind of snacks usually you people try?
Coming to the snack, I think in the hostels recently, this definitely this trend of trying to eat healthy is being spread, of course, for good reasons. So I find people here taking flax seeds, chia seeds, and of course sprouts in between. So I think we should also come up with some other healthier alternatives to consume, and we can actually overcome this junk food consumption with that.
Dr. Vidhu,
Yes, ma'am.
we need to, because we have overshooted time. So,
Yes, ma'am.
because Elizabeth Madam's comments also we need to take. Can we just go to the right to last questions?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, only 2 more questions she wanted to ask me, and we'll be just concluding. Sprujana, anything you wanted to ask? You were saying about the veg diet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know how to ensure all the vegetarians or vegans are getting enough of vitamin B12 or omega-3 fatty acids.
And as you know, vitamin B12 is mainly the animal source, but who are having the dairy products and eggs will not have much of a deficiency. But if they are completely vegans, okay, and it is always better, as it is already mentioned in our talks, that once in a way it is better to check your hemoglobin, vitamin D levels, and all these B12 levels. So the supplementation can be taken. Okay, and ma'am will be addressing more. And also who are vegetarians, if you want to add more of proteins, maybe a quick recipe like you can sprout seeds and then you can add it as toppings, and then you can add it with tomato, or you can salt and pepper you'll add, or lime juice, or with your curd, something like that in between to snack. And even microgreens or something which you can just top up them with. All these will be useful. Anything else you wanted to ask? We are short of time, no? So I just wanted to hand over to ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Just one last thing, ma'am. I think there are unique nutritional requirements for different people belonging to different classes or economic backgrounds. I think there are a lot of people who are completely unaware or they're not finding that access to healthy food. So I think it's important to educate each and everybody, or we should try to include everybody on a wider range and try to educate them upon consuming the healthy food.
Yeah, of course. That is what we are working on. And
Yeah.
ma'am, Elizabeth, ma'am.
Elizabeth, ma'am, request your presence. Now we have the youth
Thank you so much
yeah.
for this wonderful webinar. I think this was very unique, and the youngest person made us more happy, no, by opening her mind. And I must say that this was a very informative one. And the nutrients, we have to present it as the go nutrients, the grow nutrients, and the glow nutrients. That means we need it for energy, then for growth. So we can focus more on the protein and the glow nutrients. That is for the micronutrients for the health of your skin, hair, and your immunity and all. And I'm happy that we brought in nutrition education, nutrition garden in the schools. Kitchen garden has been renamed as nutrition garden in schools. And Michelle Obama said, let us take salad bars to the school. So that was another thing which we can easily do. Then teaching about food labels also. Trans fat is 0. That information is very good, no, in choosing that. So that is another thing which we have to do. And then hidden hunger cuts across all sections. That is what we have to understand. Whether you are normal weight, underweight, overweight, or obese, you are likely to have anemia. And anemia-free pink India is a dream still very far away for us. And whatever we have done is not getting effective. And then another thing is that if we read any guideline, it will be written that whole grains, millets, pulses, nuts with a lot of fiber and moderate physical activity is the protective factor. But we forget that and start focusing on don't eat this, don't eat that. And we can say that let us take 5 to 6 days healthy diet. One day you can order, adolescents. You decide which day you want. Is it Wednesday? Is it Friday? Is it Sunday? So these children will follow us and they copy us. And I think it is easy for us to do that. And health clubs should be there where you can do skit of a strict vegan developing B12 deficiency, or a picky eater is developing iron deficiency anemia. And then a doctor can come in like that. We can arrange skits and all. And regarding healthy eating habits, I must say that we must start with the salad bar. And we say green salad. Now I will say Jor salad, green, yellow, orange, red. So let us add some fruits also, because some children don't like if it is only a cucumber and carrot. But if we can add little bit of one apple, 2-3 pieces, or one papaya cut, something which they like also. So let us make it, as Dr. Sri Sailam was also telling, colors, eat the colors. Alas, there is a rainbow in my plate. That is what the children must say. And so the Jor salad we should start with. And the food plate, we always go the clockwise. Now I will say you go anti-clockwise. That is, you start with the Jor salad and then go to your protein source. So that should be next. That can be pulses, nuts, egg. Egg is taken out of the meat group now because it is unfertilized egg. And if you don't eat it, it will perish off. It can't become alive because it is unfertilized egg. Egg is put as another food group. I'm happy that our young colleague is taking egg and fish and egg and milk. So I am happy about it. So that is something. So what is your protein source? And concentrate on your protein source. Then only go to your carbs and little dairy products. That will take care of that. But still there can be protein deficiency. That is why I'm telling you go anti-clockwise. Don't come from cereals to protein. Go from protein to cereal. And cereal should be your side dish, actually. Protein should be your main dish, like the Europeans and all who take. And in the hostels and all, what they can think of is, if they can't take you can take whole grain bread. At least one white, somebody doesn't like it, They can take 50% whole grain, 50% can be white bread also, at least 50% grain, whole grain bread, multi-grain bread you can take. Then the spread what you take, it is butter and ghee and all is favorite for us, but we can make peanut butter, non-dairy cream is available, then mashed dates, so much of things we can make. And in one competition, some children brought Bengal gram, cooked Bengal gram without the husk, and they pasted it and then spread it. We tasted it and we could not even understand what they have put as the spread. They said it is purely vegetarian and it is not even, there's no milk or anything in that. So that is what we can do. And actually, mushrooms are very good in calcium and lot of energy is there. If you little salt the mushroom with little salt and pepper, and it tastes beautiful. And along with your green salad, you can take. And the sprouts, we already said. And our handful of, I can take my handful of nuts. Nuts is very good. And even the walnuts, some of the seeds that you said, chia seeds and all, have some omega-3. Fish oil is the richest source. Even rotating the oil and oil in moderation. Rotating the oil is also good. So sunflower oil, omega-6. And fish oil, omega-3. Rice bran oil has both. So 5 to 10:1, that ratio has to be maintained. So rotating the oil is also very good. And what is trans fat which should be avoided is that which solidifies in room temperature, like the animal fat, the vanaspati, the dalda. But ghee has only 4% trans fat. So that messages should go. I think, and the B12 source is vegetarians, it is curd, and even now they say fermented food. And some study says something very interesting, that is fecal contamination of your vegetables, the fertilizers. So it is there in papers. So that is also a source, they say, for all of us, maybe. That is it. And so these are the things. But whenever you are a strict vegan, we have to be on the lookout for protein, B12. It is an indicated. And as Dr. Vidhu said, we can even check your hemoglobin. If it is low, get your MCV, MCH, RDW. It will give you the answer. Not even a peripheral smear is needed. If your MCV is high, more than 100, you have megaloblastic picture, no? Like that we can. And the vitamin D, calcium, everything was emphasized so much. And I think time is over and we can continue to interact in some other time also. So any specific question also I can answer.
Wonderful, madam. Dr. Sharma, sir, you, as a chair, your comments, and then we have some questions still, but we are already
Please go ahead with questions. All things as narrated by them.
Yeah, maybe who will read the question? Shamik,
thank you for generating this youth voice. I hope this will continue in next sessions also.
Yes, sir. Sujana, kindly keep your, because that experts, what you're seeing, they are national experts, Sujana. Dr. Elizabeth, madam, is authority
this group,
nutrition.
This group can be kept for some more time. And
yes, yes, so that we can interact. Yeah.
MKC Nair, sir, is there.
MKC Nair,
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Elizabeth, madam, all are stalwarts in nutrition. And Dr. Shamik, quickly for the questions on the chat box.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. That was a brilliant presentation by Dr. Elizabeth, and we are really fortunate that she has put the icing on the cake. A very few questions. Most of the comments are in praise of the webinar, but there is Dr. Ashok Mehta who has asked as to whether there is any difference in the rural and urban children in the vitamin D status. I think so. Dr. Shubhada has already replied to that consistently there's a higher prevalence of vitamin D deficiency among adolescents residing in the urban areas compared to rural areas, because the sunlight exposure is better in the rural areas. We often see adolescents, especially boys, consuming this is Dr. Deepa. So we often see adolescents, especially boys, consuming 8 to 10 eggs daily. Please comment on this practice. I think
Elizabeth,
we can ask, Dr. Elizabeth too.
I think many who are on low carb diet are taking 6 to 8 eggs and all. That is to make up their protein. They want 70 grams of protein, so they take it. But they are ignoring that every egg is having 300 milligrams of cholesterol.
Yes.
And so long-term studies are needed. But if you can take the white of the egg, I think that is healthy. That can be done. So we can restrict to two or three yolk per week and more of white. That can be. But egg is now considered as the most healthy food. 39 nutrients are there. And Dr. Asha Benagappa says, if you put little lime juice also, 40 nutrients. Vitamin C also will come.
Yeah. Shamik, next question.
Yeah. So is the weekly iron and folic acid supplementation program in Anemia Mukt Bharat, is it a successful program?
Not at
Dr.
all.
KVS Sai Prasad is asking this question.
Not at all. It has failed miserably.
Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Sairam is there from NIN. Sir, you are still there?
Yeah, ma'am.
Thank you for joining. Your expert comments. Which programs will help us?
I mean, it's definitely a challenge but there are not so many options too. While it's a big failure to give weekly folic acid, as I said, we are trying.
Actually, we defeated it. The program is good.
That's what the alternate choice is. Again, going back to dietary diversity and seeing somehow the iron gets into the system.
Okay.
I am putting a lot of hope in the FRK, that is the fortified rice kernel.
Fortified rice.
Yes.
I am putting a lot of hope in that. Let us see after 2-3 years or next NFHS data at least.
Ma'am, just for information, the AHA this year is going with the youth wellness program. One of the most important pillars of awareness is on metabolic wellness. So through this, we want to reach out to the youth to talk to them, create more awareness around metabolic wellness.
I think that's the need of the hour, because many people are overweight and obese. It's very difficult for them to lose, but to become metabolic. That should be the goal.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Let us see if we can create some impact at the year end. Yeah. Shamik, next question.
Yeah. Dr. Anupama Sen has asked what about vegetarian adolescents? What iron-rich and dietary advice would you give them?
Dr. Ma'am, would you like to?
Yeah, the greens we say, no? The grams, grains, greens, grapes, all those things we can speak, but the bioavailability is very less. But the green leafy vegetables and that is good. And then we can focus on non-vegetarian sources. But Anemia Mukt Bharat is there, no? That program says life cycle approach, round the clock, WRA, till 45 years, weekly iron. So that school children, weekly iron. Till 5 years, bi-weekly iron. So if we can follow that, we can curb it.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Ashok Mehta has a comment actually. Dr. Nagamani has talked about the fortified rice to which Dr. Elizabeth just referred to. So Dr. Ashok Mehta has a question that on the iron tablets, the cheapest and the best sources, especially in the deficient adolescent.
Who can take up this iron?
We say old is gold. Ferrous sulfate always works, but it is not very GI friendly. So if affordability is there, we can go for iron ascorbate, or even liposomal iron is promising in some. But many of even our doctors who have taken iron have not improved their anemia because of the H. pylori, celiac, associated gut inflammations. So helminthiasis. So these have to be first addressed.
Yeah. Yeah. Next, Shamik,
So
we are
when,
cross 11.
yeah, yes, very quickly, Dr. Shalini Bhasin has actually contributed a comment that schools have been advised to promote healthy foods in school canteens by the University Grant Commission. Dr. Avinash Bansal has talked about healthy habits beginning at home. Charity begins at home. So school canteens to serve healthy food, give them healthy food choices, and organize healthy food competitions in schools. Dr. Shivananda has suggested initiating nutritional education and demonstration of home food values, preparation and nutritional value and importance of locally available foods. Dr. Ashok Mehta has also said that the tuition culture has eaten into the playing time of all school kids, which is missed often. I think so it's been emphasized that activity is extremely important. And I think while we are taking histories, as Dr. Vidhu Ashok so nicely took the dietary recall, I think so we should also have an activity recall as to what we have done in the last 24 hours. So exam, Dr. Sudhir Mishra has also commented on stress and especially exam time leading to binge eating. Now, I guess if we are active, we can burn off those extra calories, and that is something we need to be looking out for. I'm not repeating a lot of the questions, but there is one by Dr. Shalini Bhasin. Which oil should we prefer and which one should we highlight?
Madam, this should be the last question, I think. Yeah. Elizabeth, ma'am, for the oils.
Yeah. Oil in moderation should be our first goal. And I said we should rotate our oils. For deep frying, still in Kerala, we are using coconut oil because it will not get oxidized and peroxidized so fast. But reusing will spoil the whole thing. And then we can use the like the seed oils, like sunflower oil, which is very high in omega-6. If I use only sunflower oil and no fish oil or any omega-3 source, my omega-6 to omega-3 ratio will be 56:1. Whereas what I want is 5 to 10:1. So even that is not a good thing. For dressings and all, olive oil we can use. And for pickles and all in Kerala, we use gingerly oil. So different oils we have, but limit the oil use. So rotate it, whatever is available. And the labels are there. So choose wisely and oil in moderation. That should be our goal.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can I speak on that, please, if I'm allowed?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So basically, I like to just say that first we need to give the concept when we talk about oil, that there are 3 types of oil. That why we are talking about saturated and then monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. So overall, the first statement of ma'am, like you have to have in moderation. So for a 2000 calorie, if you imagine an adolescent or an adult, for that, for a boy or a girl or a man and a woman. So that is what we need to say 5 to 6 teaspoons is going to be max for a boy or a girl, 4 to 6 or 6 to 8, that way. So we have to teach that is the one. And then saturated fat should be, what is saturated fats? If I keep, I mean, it gets like solidified. So this vanaspati, ghee, and all these oils are bad, and yet 5% to 7% they are good. So you should keep a proportion of 5% of your total calories that you want, or the percentage, if you divide it in your fat, it should be 10 to 15% that we want to keep this as the saturated fat. Then comes the monounsaturated and the polyunsaturated, the ratio that we were talking about in omega-3. So the best oils that we are talking about is the not 6 oils that we say: the olive oil, the sesame, avocado, and walnut oil, almond oil. So these are the various oils, canola. And like they're talking about South, North Indians, we use
mustard
oil. So that mustard oil. But we have to also teach that if you're using coconut oil or mustard oil, whatever, then you need to understand the difference between the compression, processed, refined or not. Even coconut oil should be cold compressed. If it is done at the other heat and all, that is going to be, rather it gets into the unhealthy. Even the coconut oil is unhealthy. So though we talk about MCT and this thing, it has to be the cold compressed and not the other way. Similarly, the mustard oil, when we talk, that should also be the unrefined form and not get the refined form, because in the refined, it takes away the antioxidants and the multivitamins that need to be put in that. And the message we need to give is trans fat is 0. So trans fat doesn't mean seeing on the label like you always say. In addition, you need to teach them partially hydrogenated or hydrogenated fat. If you read this word, that is the one which is a big no. So this is the way I like to describe them. Then they understand what it is. And, as ma'am
Wonderful.
said, rotation is very important.
Wonderful, Dr.
Very,
Neelam. Thank
very
you for pitching.
invaluable inputs, Dr. Neelam Mohan. Thank you so much. It's time to close, but it'll be very unfair if I don't talk about 3 catch lines which I've caught over here. One is by Dr. Avinash Bansal, who talks about promoting the murmure instead of the kurkure. There is also a catch line about parents taking their children for green shopping instead of mall shopping, and also laying emphasis on the green time rather than the screen time. That's a lovely catch lines we've got today.
Just change the murmura to murmura chana, and the 3 statements are
Yeah. Dr. Shamik, these are the messages for a catch 25 from this session.
I think one question is left. That is Dr. Lal is asking calcium supplements in adolescents. I would say weekly iron and weekly calcium, and see that your vitamin D is okay.
Yeah,
I recommend weekly calcium, like in pregnancy, they recommend calcium and iron. So to adolescents, I say weekly iron and calcium.
Thank you, madam.
At least that.
Yeah, Sprujana?
Dr.
Sprujana?
Samik, Dr. Srinivasan want to say something.
Srinivasan, sir, your comments, sir. Yes, thank you for staying so long with us.
It's 11 o'clock,
Thank
11:05.
you. Yeah, it's very, all the points have been covered. Of course, only thing, I want to digress from that, because nowadays all children, from 6 months onwards, they wear only pants and jeans. They hardly get exposed. Previously, we never saw nutritional rickets in South India, especially in this thing. We used to see only in MAMC when I was doing PG. But now, of course, so many children I see in the pediatric OPD in Jipmer having rickets because of the culture of jeans and this thing. I think we must promote them to be taken. And then in the beach also, they walk with the children with jeans. I stop them and tell them, see, we are coming to the beach to get the sunlight, and you people, you are this thing wearing. Apart from this thing, vitamin D, and of course, cheese is another important thing. Cheese has B12 in adequate amounts, and microbiome is another source of vitamin B12. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. A lot of interactions on nutrition. Really, we are not leaving the platform, but we're overshooted time. So I really, should we say vote of thanks? But before that, from my side, before the formal vote of thanks, I would really like to thank both the Central IP leadership and our past chairpersons, leadership of AHA, for joining us for this first webinar of AHA. And we are going to focus on super specialties. And this is the one topic we have taken up, which is very important. And I really would like to first applaud our youth here. I think please give a big round of applause to our youth, Ms. Sprujana. Thank you for joining us. And you're exposed to all the stalwarts pediatricians from all over India.
Yes, became a 5-star.
And
Yes,
Dr.
ma'am,
Elizabeth, madam.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's an honor to be amongst you all.
Thank you,
It's an honor
Sprujana.
for me.
Yeah, and we were just discussing, Sprujana will now, initiate the youth forum, youth connect for us through the, they say there are 10,000 youth connected through various media, and we as AHA should consider, I think, connecting with them. And Sprujana has offered that connect for us. Thank you, Sprujana, for connecting AHA with the youth for us. And I would also like to thank especially Dr. Elizabeth Madam, Dr. MKC Nair, who was with us for their expert comments, and all the speakers, panelists, and my EB, OB, and past chairpersons, everybody, all those have joined on this line. Thank you. I think it's on the live on the YouTube, and it is also, some of the links have been given to the young people also. Really thank every participant for this webinar. So we meet again once more every month. Over to Sneha. I think thank for the formal vote of thanks. Our treasurer.
Thank you, madam. You have really reduced my work to half by giving thanks to everybody. But I will tell that today it was the dhamakedar shuruat of webinar of Silver Jubilee year of 2025. So I will like to thank Dr. Himabindu madam for her vision and for her program planning. Thank you to Dr. MKC Nair, Dr. CP Bansal sir, Dr. Srinivas for staying us so long till the end of the webinar. Thank you very much, Dr. Vasant Khalatkar, Dr. Parikh, and Dr. Leelam Mohan for their blessings and their presence today for the inauguration of this webinar. Thank you, Dr. Kotwal sir, for giving such a brief and crispy lecture which incorporated everything regarding the nutrition, though it's a very, very big topic, but it was really covered very well. I will not forget to give thanks to Dr. Manmeet. She really organized the panel discussion so well, and it was interesting and very, very knowledgeable. Thank you to our all panelists, Dr. Srinivas, Dr. Sri Selam, Dr. Amol Pawar, Dr. Nandini, Dr. Sairam for their
The special thanks to our NIN expert, Dr. Sairam, for joining with us. Thank you.
Yes. And madam, we will not forget Madam Elizabeth, her visionary words and everything she has given, really icing on the cake, and she covered all the topics with a very nice manner. Thank you, Dr. R.N. Sharma sir. Thank you, Dr. Vidhu Ashok, and our little hero Srijana for connecting with us and giving valuable input so that we will work again for what are the flaws are there in shortcoming of the adolescent nutrition. Thank you very much, all the spectators and our AHA member for joining. It was a huge success. We have touched the century of the audience today. Thank you.